Yeah, I mean, I had a really good time working with Artie. He was basically my driver coach, so he did a lot of data analysis and video analysis and so on. And he was very good, very, very good. He definitely picked my game up. He was very good at analyzing where I needed to be better, literally every session. And yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed working with him. He was a very top level guy, which it's hard to find guys like that in this industry. So he's going to be around for a long time.
That was Indianapolis 500 champion and two-time IndyCar Series champion Will Power describing our next guest, Artie Carpenter. This is one I've been looking forward to for a very long time. Honestly, just getting to sit down and record a conversation like this with Artie was one of the main driving forces that prompted me to make The Couches That Made Us a real thing. Artie is one of my closest friends and one of the most important people in my life today. But that's not why I asked him to sit down on the couch. No, the reason I thought of him from the word go when this thing became a reality is because of the wild, wild coincidence or awesome sense of humor by God above that resulted in the fact that one of the couches that made me is one of the very same couches that made Artie. But, as is the real point of the couches that made us, it's not really about the couches or the guest rooms you sleep in or on. It's about the people who offer them to you and help make you who you are today. For both Artie and I, that was Chris and Lisa Edgar and their family in North Central Oregon, and their racetrack, Pat's Acres. Artie and I talk a lot about the Eggers and Pat's Acres in this conversation. For reference, Pat's Acres is the racetrack in this photo just behind me, and it's a place that I know both Artie and I wish greatly we could go back and spend more time at these days. And it's not just the couch inside the Eggers round room that Artie and I share in common. Artie and I both have actually walked a path in life that most people hope they will never have to go down, or at least certainly not at as young of an age as Artie and I did when we walked it individually. But it is my sincere hope and kind of belief that if you listen to our conversation all the way through, you will learn that when blessed with incredible people in your life, like Artie and I were, those really, really hard parts of life aren't actually as hard as you might fear them to be. Artie is in an incredible place in his career today, just as I feel I am in mine, and it is, no doubt, in very large part, thanks to the people, in our situation, the Edgar family, who helped get us to incredible opportunities and teach us how to make the most of them. Artie and I spend a lot of time talking about things that have nothing to do with racing or racetracks, and I think that's why this is one of my favorite conversations I have recorded. Like I said earlier, I am incredibly proud of my friend Artie, and I hope, and again believe, that if you listen to the whole conversation, you might be as well, or at least see why I am so proud of my good friend. So, I'm going to shut up, get out of the way, and let you enjoy what I think is a really honest and inspiring conversation. So, here to tell us more about the couches that made him, Artie Carpenter.
Before we get started here, how about you tell me what's on the mantle back there?
A couple Duffies, a Screaming Eagle, and a trophy from a mechanics race.
Now, Screaming Eagle, wasn't that your nickname in high school?
That's true. That's true. The Screaming Eagle is also a trophy that you can get at the IKF Grand Nationals.
What
For
class?
pole position.
Oh, so the Screaming Eagle's for qualifying.
Yeah.
And then what did you win your Duffies in?
Junior 2 Briggs World Formula. I actually don't remember.
That's a good class.
And F200 Heavy.
Oh,
4-stroke stuff.
that was my nickname in high school. F200 Heavy. And I believe one of those has to do with the tuners race?
Yeah, the blue one's it was a mechanics race, a rental kart race at GoPro, in 2021 at the Miami Grand Nationals, the first running.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, I think we did 2 heat races, and it was like $500 to win on Thursday night. They only did it for 3 years because it got pretty rowdy.
I can
The
see
second
that.
year, like I did it the second year, and they made it clear if you did enough to get black flagged and you didn't come in, they would cut your wristband and you couldn't stay for the rest of the weekend.
And you're there for the weekend actually working, tuning
Yeah.
on some other driver's go-kart, and that's probably how you're making your money for that part of the weekend.
Correct.
So that wouldn't be a good thing.
So I got black flagged, and I was like, I'm gonna pull in.
What'd you get black flagged for?
Some kid hit me, and then I tried to put him in a wall.
I don't think
And then
I
I got black flagged. I'm like, I'm not gonna risk it.
politics.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have ever believed if you would have asked me, who in your life do you think has received a black flag while racing anything? I don't think I would have ever bet you. Genuinely.
That would be me?
Yeah, I don't think I would have.
Nah, dude. In a rental car race, I will happily put people on walls.
A little dirty.
Yeah. Happily.
Oh, wow.
And if they hadn't told us that before, I wouldn't have pulled in. I would have kept going. I think they did it. They might have done it the next year, but that was it. And they had a different fleet of rentals for those races. Like they had a bunch of like old rentals in back container,
Mm-hmm.
and they brought the old rentals out when the mechanics raced because they knew they were going to get
Destroyed.
beat up.
Who were you tuning for?
Nate Cicero
Oh, wow.
that weekend.
Mazda MX-5 Cup racer.
And now Pilot Challenge.
Everybody's moving up in their career.
And with MMR
Yes. Chad McCumbee.
Yep.
Stephen McElroy.
and Stephen Mackler. Yes.
Great gentleman.
They have a great engineer on the car, Jonathan Braswell.
I thought it was you.
No. Have you met? No, you haven't met Braswell.
No, but that's who Jensen's hanging out with tonight,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Jensen Altzman, quick mention on the pod here. He might sit on the couch
He might. Hopefully he does.
if he ever gets me his names and numbers.
He probably won't.
He already did tonight.
Did he actually?
Yeah, he actually sent them when we were coming
Good.
back in from Quick Trip.
Good.
Well, I mean, I think that's a great little introduction to the racer that you are, a guy that gets black flagged a lot,
Mm-hmm.
but successful in your own right. Some Duffies, a Screaming Eagle, a shiny helmet. You're fast even when you're a tuner, and you're not there to race. You're there to work on a go-kart, but you're still blindingly fast and obedient of the rules, which I like a lot. Man, I just want to thank you for swinging by here. First of all, that's in this weather. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, of course. I'm happy you made it too. All the way down here.
Well, we're in your house, so I shouldn't really be thanking you for swinging by, but
We are stuck though right now.
yeah. Have you ever seen snow? I don't know when this is going to come out, but we are recording in the middle of Snowmageddon, Charlotte, 2026. It is, I think, it's January 31st, and right now outside it's 17 degrees, and it says there's haze outside. Have you ever seen snowfall like this anywhere you've lived?
Not anywhere I've properly. Well, no, I take that back. Tri-Cities we used to get a lot, but not in Oregon. Not like this. Not to stick around. But this is crazy for locals.
Yeah, this is nuts. I spent a few months living in Charlotte, and I don't ever, although I was here in August and September and October, so it'd be pretty bad if you were seeing snow in August.
Yeah, that's still pretty awful here.
You just said it. You're from Oregon, Washington area, so that's the Pacific Northwest to people who own a globe and keep up with it. And you go to Oregon State University, and you're a big-time fancy engineer now these days. So what is life like here in North Carolina for Artie Carpenter in the year 2026? What are you doing? What's happening right now?
Lived out here for 3 years now as a performance engineer for Team Penske. This year I'll be on Justin Negron's car. Last few years I've been on Will Power's car. Yeah, just enjoying life outside of school and outside karting for full-time capacity at least.
Life outside of karting, at least in a not full-time capacity. When you're not full-time karting, that's a pretty good thing. What does a performance engineer do? Because when I hear engineer, I think of the guy that drives the train. But you're not wearing any overalls, so I don't imagine that's what your job centers around. Or am I wrong?
We do wear funny shirts, which is pretty close.
You wear colorful shirts.
We do wear colorful shirts, and this year my shirts are going to change
Yeah.
every race. Which the last few years, I've had the same shirt for all the races.
But you washed it.
Yeah. We have a lot of shirts. We cycle through a lot of shirts.
Okay. What does a performance engineer do? Because that sounds like a very technical thing that you're a part of, and I imagine that I'm actually correct in that assumption. Tell me about the role of a performance engineer in IndyCar, and then I'm sure at the top level of the sport, like you're at Team Penske. I mean, that's got to be a pretty wide scope position you're in. Is that the case?
It's pretty vague. Essentially, I'm an assistant to the race engineer, answering questions, looking deeper into different aspects of the car on race weekends. While the race engineer can focus on more like car setup and specific stuff. But yeah, like anything from different parts of the car you're looking at, or the last few years I did a lot of like driver work, looking at video and data, going over with Will like at track and like prepping for different events.
That part to me, because we have talked a little bit about your job, and that to me, when you talk about helping the drivers, working with the drivers, that to me has got to be, I mean, your job is so analytical and you spend all this time diving into all this data and pulling up all this stuff, but you work pretty closely with the drivers that compete for Team Penske in the IndyCar series. And no doubt your racing experience as a driver has to lean into that a little bit, right? I mean, you are working with these guys and helping them dissect corners and find out where they're losing time and find out how they can make more of it, or make more speed rather. So, I mean, what's it like sitting down with Will Power, you know, talking to him about what he's doing with a race car, and it's just you and him having a one-on-one discussion? That would probably be pretty wild to be in the middle of.
I mean, it was really cool having the opportunity to work with Will in the last few years, and getting to sit with him either pre-event or at simulator or at track, getting to just sit and look at data with him and go over stuff and point out stuff to him. And I mean, they're all professionals, so you like can tell them something and then they'll do it.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, coming from, if you do any coaching and karting, you're like constantly working with kids, like trying to get them to just do a fraction of what you tell them to do.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, you can tell these guys like, hey, I need you to do X, Y, Z, and they'll go do it. Right or wrong, they're going to do it.
That's what's crazy, is like seeing some of the things you've talked about. Like, you learn so much about racing, I feel like, as you grow up as a kid, right? Because when you're really young, you look at racing on TV or you go to the track and you just think it's the driver in the car. And yeah, he's got a pit crew or he's got guys helping him, but it's that driver in that car. But we've all been sitting around here the last night or two talking about the world you're exposed to these days, where the driver is really just a team member trying to make that car go as fast as they can.
Yeah, I mean, there's a huge group behind each driver to try and maximize everything. And yeah, the driver is a part of the team, and it's a very important part of the team.
Right.
And your driver's got to be good, and they've got to make the right decisions and have the skill and talent that's needed.
Yeah.
But it is cool to see how much does go in to, you know, any IndyCar weekend. Like we don't have a huge group compared to like the NASCAR side, but I mean, there's 70 people on the IndyCar side that, you know, are working day in, day out to try and put these cars on track and try and maximize everything.
Yeah, I guess where I was going with that is like, it's not like I think all of you guys add different percentages to how the team succeeds or fails, right? And obviously the driver holds a pretty big percentage in their hands, right? Because the driver can make the car do what it needs to do or not make the car what it needs to do, right? So everybody on the team, and I think the higher up you go on that organizational chart, probably is a bigger percentage of the car's success or failure, right? But you talked about the drivers are professionals, and you tell them something, and hey, you're entering too high here, or you're on the brakes a little too early here. And you can just look at those guys and give them that feedback, and you feel like you get immediate response from them, and they understand what you're saying, and they're able to actually like move on that information and correct or improve what they need to do based on the direction you and the whole engineering department at Team Penske give them.
Yeah, I would say that they do, and a lot of it's like I've enjoyed, like, especially like the quick stuff like on pit lane, like in between qualifying. It's like you have, you know, a couple things to fix, and then they go fix it, and then you make it into the next, group of qualifying, or you make it to the next session or whatever, like those parts are like really cool to get to like have that immediate impact. It's like instant gratification of like, cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say
we did our job.
It's probably because you're seeing the results there very quickly.
Yeah.
Of the direction you're giving those guys, and then they put it into action, and it's boom, this is working.
Yep, exactly.
I think that's the wrap that you don't understand as a kid is like, it's not just the driver out there competing. It is everybody who puts their hands on that race car. They are competing. You're competing. The race engineer's competing. The strategist is competing. The pit crew is competing. Everybody who puts their hands on the race car is competing. And for a guy like you who grew up competing in go-karts, do you feel like you're at the top level? I mean, obviously, no doubt you'd rather be driving. I'm sure of that. You'd probably rather be the guy in the race car at the Indianapolis 500. But since you can't, do you consider yourself at like the top level of your game, at the top level of your sport right now?
I think I would say I'm further than I thought I would be. And yeah, it's pretty cool to be where I'm at in American motorsports, and
at what, 29?
At that level. Yeah, at 29. Like straight out of school.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, it's super cool. I'm very grateful to be where I'm at. It's thanks to a lot of people in my life that have got me here.
Man, now that's a segue right there. I just want to ask before we do go to talking about those people and how are you hired directly out of Oregon State University? Did you have a position with Team Penske like on graduation day?
Not right when I graduated. It was I got my offer a month and a half after I finished school.
Okay.
But I went I took summer classes to finish up just a few classes, and that was the same week of Portland IndyCar race.
Mm-hmm.
And I finished, what was it? I submitted my last whatever paper report or whatever Thursday night at midnight or 1 a.m. and then I went home, and then that Friday, Brady and I packed up my entire house in Corvallis into my trailer, and then drove it to Pat's, dropped off the trailer, and then the next day, Saturday morning, like 8 a.m., I was at PIR to try and meet up with a couple people there to try and get me in touch with.
At Team Penske?
Yeah.
Because you had connections in the team.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was like finish school Thursday, pack up house Friday, at the track Saturday to try and meet anyone I could.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and then I ended up getting an interview a month later when I was coincidentally out here for a race.
In North Carolina.
North Carolina. I stayed at a buddy's house that's like half a mile up the road. And I got a video interview while I was here, and then I stayed a couple extra days and got an in-person interview. And then I got an offer a couple weeks later.
Dang.
So I was like from finishing school to being here, it was like 3 months.
Wow. I don't know. Is that quick?
I feel like from having no contact to like being moved across country, I feel like that's pretty quick.
I do too.
And it could have been sooner, but I had go-kart races I had to work.
Right.
So, and I was like committed to finishing the year.
Mm-hmm.
So it could have been almost a month earlier, but it was probably better.
I think it's crazy quick to go from being enrolled in classes as a college student, getting your degree in mechanical engineering, and then within 3 months of that day, you're living on the other coast, the other side of the country. You've moved on your own. You have left everything and everybody you know back in the Pacific Northwest where you've lived your whole life, and now you're going to work for a team of people that you don't really know. They just happen to be maybe the biggest name in North American motorsports, arguably the world, right? Because Team Penske, I mean, we could do a show or two on just the aura, I'm sure, that comes with working at a place like that. And I'd love to one day talk to you more about the actual ins and outs of your job and all that. But you set it up beautifully. You know, I'm glad we got to do that short pre-interview last night that we did, and we talked a little bit about this. And you just said it. You've had the help of a lot of people. to get you into this position where you feel like you are way farther than you expected to be at the age of 29 years old, where you're an integral part of an IndyCar program for this world-renowned team owned by a guy that has done so much for the sport of racing. Let's talk about the people. Let's talk about how you get here. And all I want to do is go all the way back to the beginning here and talk about you as a racer. You listed off the trophies, just a few of them, but you start out as a kid in the Pacific Northwest racing go-karts, just you and your dad. What were those days like?
I mean, they're pretty fun, pretty raw. Like I started when I was 7 in 2003, racing go-karts, and I raced full time up until like 2015. Until after that I only did a couple races here and there, and just ran out of money and ran out of time.
Right.
Like, had to focus on school.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was. I mean, when I was a kid growing up racing go-karts with my dad, it was just fun. It was raw, and that was all I knew.
I love that. I love putting it as raw, right? Because there's no fluff, and you're in a world today in IndyCar racing where it's great racing. I love IndyCar racing. You know that. I got to do Road to Indy. I've gotten to do IndyCar radio. I love IndyCar racing. But there is a lot of noise around it. There's not a lot of noise around go-karting.
Yeah. True. Well, yeah, especially back then. Like, it's definitely changed a lot now.
Yes.
Almost 25 years on.
Yes.
But back then, yeah, it was very, very raw and a lot more simple than it is now, I feel. You didn't have the big teams, you didn't have the big trailers, you didn't have as many politics.
That's true. Your dad was a karter himself, right?
Yep. Yeah, he raced go-karts through a couple stints. He did when he raced when he was like a kid, like junior class age, and then they went and ran nationals one year, and everyone was cheating. My grandpa pulled the plug. He didn't want to pay for it anymore.
Oh.
And then my dad got back into it.
Like, he was just sick of showing up at the track racing against people that weren't doing it legit?
No, they got to, in late 70s, early 80s, the amount of cheating that would happen at, like, IKF Grand Nationals was, like, nuts. And my grandpa was like, like, we're not doing this. If this is what it is,
because he was just tired of competing against that pack.
Yeah, so then they stopped, and then my dad started working for a go-kart shop when he was in high school, and then kind of got back into it, and then he raced go-karts for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, like late 80s, early 90s.
Okay. And just right there, you just said, oh, my dad worked for a go-kart shop. That sentence probably sounds like German to some kid today growing up in the U.S., because what's a go-kart shop, right?
Yeah, that's true.
It's a performance sport industry where if you want to go karting, you got to call up one of these, half dozen or more super teams, and here's the bill. It's per weekend. Bring your helmet. We'll see you there. It's not like it was, back when your dad was doing it. And even early, like, I mean, think about it. Where you're from, there was Shark Racing, or what was
Shark Shifter.
Shark Shifter. And, you still had like kind of performance power sports guys who just also sold and maintenance go-karts and would go racing on the weekends. And then your dad got out of karting, right? And he actually had a little bit of time in cars?
Yeah, he ran, he did like the Skip Our Race School, which was like big, back in the 90s. And then he did some late model stuff through mid to late 90s until he got sick. But yeah, I mean, he raced go-karts. He did some open wheel stuff over in Europe a little bit.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Like some more like simple stuff, but like did that and ran Super 4s and the Northwest, and yeah, so he did enough racing.
Yeah, enough racing to get you like addicted to it.
Yeah. I mean, that's all I knew from when I was a little baby.
So 03, you said you start racing?
Yep.
And then
kid kart.
You and your dad are just bouncing around, right? You're doing that all the time. And, again, in that short little pre-interview we did yesterday, I think we went over some stats. What was it? In 2007, you have a pretty big year, 20 wins and 24 podiums, and that performance gets you the IKF Region 6 Tag Cadet Championship. 20 wins.
Yeah.
How many races were there? 21?
I don't know. I actually don't. I ran a lot of classes my last year cadets. So I think that year we won won Tag Cadet and I think Mini Max championships.
Rotax racing.
Yes. So I got all those jackets in the garage.
That's where the real memories are made.
Yes.
Rotax karting. I remember working the 07 Grand Nationals at the track at Centennial in Denver.
You worked it?
I worked it as a corner worker.
No.
And all I wanted to do was be there and see it.
Dude, there were some big names
There
at
were.
Rotax Grand Nationals that year.
Jarvis Gennari.
Jarvis won junior.
Junior, he won junior.
Zanella won.
Zanella won DD2.
No, he won senior.
Did he? Oh, Jose Zanella won senior.
Yeah.
And then DD2 was, oh my God, Pedrosa, Andre Pedrosa.
Oh, yeah?
Or Victor. I always get those two mixed up. The brothers.
It was Andre. Andre didn't race. It must have been Victor.
Okay. Andre, yeah, Victor. Yeah, Victor, he had the kinder eyes.
Dre is intense.
Yes.
Dre will get in your face.
Yeah. But
I
man,
like
you're doing pretty well at this age in karting. How old are you in 07? What's Minimax? Tack at 11, 12 years old?
11. Yeah, last year cadets would have been 11.
So you're not like some slouch. You and your dad are doing well. He's probably setting up your karts. You're driving them. I have no doubt he's coaching you. But are you at this point like thinking like I'm going to be a race car driver and this is going to be my path?
I wanted to be.
Yeah.
And my dad was trying to set me up to be.
Yeah.
Like learning how to talk to sponsors and learning how to get sponsors and going to local businesses to, scrape money together for tires or whatever it may be. And yeah, I mean, my dad emphasized, like at that time was emphasizing, the cleanliness, the professionalism, the attitude, like he was trying to get me there.
Yeah.
I mean, at that age, I didn't know what it took.
Yeah.
Or if I was ever doing the right thing, but we tried. And the thought was there.
Yeah. Well, you're a practical guy today, so that's why I ask. Is like sometimes at a real young age, if a kid is pretty practical and I don't want to say smart because it's not dumb to have a dream. It's not dumb to go, oh, I want to be in the driver's seat one day. But everybody's different, and some people are who they are at a very young age. And I just didn't know if maybe at a young age you kind of knew, hey, I like driving. I enjoy it. It's fun. I'm pretty good at it. But like, maybe at a young age you already knew how stacked the odds were to become a professional race car driver. But it sounds like you had the dream and you wanted to begin to continue on that path. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, at that point, yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to keep going.
So you and your dad are racing and things are going pretty well and you're winning a lot and your dad has Kart Sport Northwest, right?
Yep.
And you guys are running around and you're having a great time. And, this show is all about the people that helped you and the couches you get on and the guest rooms you stay at. And, everybody gets to those couches and those guest rooms a different way. I think you probably would have ended up with a lot of these people, had the tough parts of your life not happened. I think just by being friends with the Eggers and knowing the karting scene in the Northwest, you get to probably a lot of these people regardless. But some stuff goes on and you kind of maybe get to some of those places a little bit sooner or maybe just a little bit more intimately than you would have otherwise, I think. I don't know. You guys are racing a lot, you and your dad, and then your life changes pretty big and your racing career looks like it might be in jeopardy as a driver. Why did it kind of get up in the air and what happens that makes you think racing's done for me at a pretty early age?
Well, in 2010, my dad passed away from a heart attack. We were at the go-kart track one day, and I had a mechanic, and I had just come in from qualifying, and my dad was sitting in the tent, and something happened, and I got pulled from the situation. And yeah, he ended up having a heart attack, passing away that day, and I thought, whoa, okay, all my go-karting stuff is done after this.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was the run that we would drive to the races. He was running the go-kart shop. I would help him in the go-kart shop every day after I was at school until the shop closed. Yeah, I didn't know what it would look like after that.
Well, and so to this point, we've talked a lot about you and your dad and you and your dad going racing. And, your mom's in your life, but I know your parents got divorced when you were really, really young. So I think it was week here with dad, week there with mom. You were kind of bouncing back and forth every week. Is that
Yeah.
okay? So your dad passes in 2010 while you're in a go-kart race, which, man, that could be enough to ruin it for some people right then and there, I think, and or never go back to that track or never want to do that thing again. Did that thought ever happen? Like, you're there doing this thing with your dad when he passes. He loved it. You did it with him all the time. Did you ever have that thought of, like, I don't want to do this anymore? He's gone. This is how he died. Obviously, karting didn't kill him, but did that thought ever creep into your mind?
No. I mean, I still wanted to race, and that was, at that point I'd been racing for 7 or 8 years, and it was like, I mean, that's your all your friends, and
Yeah.
that's a extended family, really. No, that thought never once crossed my mind of I wanted to stop.
So
I thought I was going to be forced to stop.
well, and so that's where we go next. Is your mom is there, and she's in your life all the time already, just on an every other week basis, and now she's in your life full time. And you, in an article that promoted you going to the grand finals, not less than 10 years later, but less than 10 years later, you talked about how you thought your career was going to be over as a driver, and your mom, in your words, stepped up to keep you racing. What does that mean? How does your mom step up to keep you driving go-karts at 13 years old?
I mean, we didn't skip a beat. Like, I don't think we missed a race. Like, my mom basically jumped in and just figured out what we had to do to keep me racing go-karts.
What does that mean? Does that mean, like,
I mean, it's,
finding the money for it? Does that mean she's working on the stuff? Does that mean she's hiring people to help you? What are the dots she has to connect for you at that time?
I mean, getting there was a big one. So we got a truck, and yeah, trying to find a mechanic, and my mom was like very mechanically inclined.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So she jumped in at a couple races and helped with a lot of stuff. But yeah, I mean, trying to find mechanics and trying to find help and just people to help me at that time, and she was the conduit for all that, and gave me, like, that summer. I mean, we just parked the trailer because we didn't have the go-kart shop anymore, so we just parked the trailer in the cul-de-sac of the neighborhood we lived in,
Mm-hmm.
and I tried to prep all my stuff there before we'd go to all the races, and she gave me the opportunity to learn more myself, but, like, gave me the opportunity to be there and continue it without really skipping a beat.
Man, I love that terminology right there where you said she gave me the opportunity to learn more about it myself. Like,
Yeah.
man,
We didn't just, like, park it somewhere and then go to the race. Like,
right.
I still had to prep everything and get ready.
But what a silver lining you just take to that, right? Where you're like, yeah, my dad's gone. I don't really know how to work on him. I'm a preteen. I'm a teenager. And
I could do okay,
right.
but I wasn't, like, especially, like, now, like, being a mechanic now I feel like felt different back then.
Yeah.
Like, if I could go back now and work on my go-kart as a 14-year-old kid with the experience I have now, I'd be like, oh,
You'd win a lot more races.
dude.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be very different.
I just love the attitude that you're able to look at it in that moment and go, I am now given all this extra opportunity to
Yeah.
learn about it. I'm it's not my dad doing everything for me or most of it for me. I'm now, where'd you say the trailer was parked on the cul-de-sac where you guys lived, and
Yeah.
you're just in there working on it and learning about it. I mean, man, what a good attitude to take towards it, I think, personally.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's the attitude you have to take into it. But yeah, it was also something I enjoyed doing, and it was also, I didn't really know any better.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I did.
So your mom steps up, she keeps you on track, and by, like, literally doing the most logistically basic things, like, how do we get this cart to the track?
Mm-hmm.
How do we find people to help him? I will start working on stuff. Your mom takes that attitude. So you and your mom are doing this, and I know the Northwest karting community kind of begins to become a much bigger part of your life because they see a kid that needs some help. And I don't imagine it was ever as a charity case. It was just, hey, here's somebody that needs help, and they wanted to jump in and do that for you. Then tragedy strikes again after your mom steps up to help you out and keep you on the track, literally, to chasing your goals and your dreams. And if you thought your racing career took a big hit and your life took a big hit before, it takes another massive one. What goes on 3 years later in your life?
At this point, we're living in Oregon. Me and my mom moved to Oregon. And she ended up getting into a motorcycle accident and passing when I was 17, like right before I started my senior year of high school.
Like days before, right?
Yeah, a couple days before. Like I think I missed 2 weeks of school. Like my first 2 weeks, had to drop pre-calc, which was big. It was a big bummer.
Yeah.
I wasn't bummed that I didn't have to do the work.
Yeah, I was like, your idea of a bummer and my idea of a bummer are real different personally.
Yeah, but I had to move classes around and stuff because I missed a bunch of time.
Yeah.
And just couldn't keep up. But
I mean, it's insensitive, and I probably was a little too forward with it last night, but I just have to ask you, on either of those situations, your dad and then your mom, those are huge events to go through as a teenager.
Yeah.
They're huge events to go through as a person, right? But that's just life. All of us, if we're blessed and fortunate enough, will watch our parents pass before us, and then we grow, and that's just life, right? It's as you get older and the people in your life get older, they leave, and then you leave. But you're super young when that happens. What, 13 and 17?
14 and 17.
14 and 17.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a lazy question, and I hate to ask it, but just what was that like as a teenager and as an only child to lose both your parents? I mean, do you spiral? Do you get angry? Do you hate everyone? Do you ask God why? What were those days like for you, if you're willing to talk about it?
I think there was a lot of confusion. Not really having a good understanding of, I mean, you understand what's going on, but you don't fully understand what it means.
Mm-hmm.
And like what the impacts are of it. But yeah, I wouldn't say a spiral. I wouldn't say it was anger. Definitely like having go-karting was really helpful. Like having a good group of people to lean on was really good. And a lot of people stepped up to help me in any way that they could.
Yeah.
Ways that I didn't know I needed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was tough. It was super tough to go through.
Yeah.
But you don't know, like, you just don't know. Like, it's just kind of a confusing time. Both of them are they're very different, but like both of them are very confusing situations to go through.
Yeah.
And I felt like I had just like kind of got over the hump
Of your dad.
Yeah. And it was like boom again. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I mean, confusing is probably the perfect word. And but it's confusing for anybody. Like I said, if you're 60 and your parents are in their 80s or their 90s and they pass, that's probably still pretty. It's less confusing. But man, as a teenager, I just know that I didn't know you at that point in your life. I meet you like a year later after your mom passes.
Yeah. And
I hear your story and I get told about it, and I'm just like, no way. There's no way a kid has to go through that. And I'm aware, as well as you are, that you're not the only person that's ever gone through something like that. But just, wow, like, it was huge to hear, and it wasn't even me that went through it. I hardly even knew you. And you know what the thing is, Artie, is from that day I met you, and then I find out about your past, and the loss of both your parents, it shocked me probably the most because you never once acted like it, and you never once have. And this isn't, going to be a waxing session for you, but I just think that it takes a pretty strong person to not take the excuse that's being given to them and use it and throw it out at the world and be like, you don't get it. I've been through we've all been through stuff. And you went through some stuff at a really early age. And I guess I just have to ask you, like, do you think that ability to, like, not let it dominate you, or at least not show that it dominates you, to not let it influence your day-to-day, to not let it influence your positivity, can you trace that to anywhere? Or is that just kind of how you wake up, or is it a conscious choice you have to make?
I think right after the situation with my mom, I think for a couple years, I tried to be very intentional with not letting it, for lack of a better term, like be a personality trait
Totally.
and like, yeah, run things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that was just my approach from the get-go. It was like I didn't want it to define me.
Yeah.
So I just worked on not letting it do that.
I just think, I mean, intentional is just such a good word, right? Like, if you can be intentional in things, you have more control over them, I believe. And
Yeah,
so for
I
you,
agree.
at a very young age, again, pre-adulthood, at 18 years old, for you to go, I'm going to be intentional about not letting this. And again, I don't want this to be about me, but you and I, the reason I want you to be a part of this so badly, like I've told you, is that because you and I, not only am I a big fan of yours and we're buddies and everything, but you and I have, for better and for worse, walked some very similar paths. And the biggest one is that we both benefited from the Edgar family in Oregon giving us way more love and way more of a couch and way more of a guest room than they ever needed to. But I know that when I lost my mom, I had that exact same thought. I probably wasn't as analytical as you were, but I remember thinking, my brother and my sister were around me, and I remember thinking, we are not going to be the kids who are defined and looked at as the kids who lost their mom.
Yeah.
And I don't know where that thought came from. I just knew that I'd grown up around people who had lost a parent, and I thought, oh my God, that's terrible. And that's all you could think of when you see them. And so I didn't want that to be us.
Mm-hmm.
And it just sounds like, I mean, I'm probably just trying to connect dots here because I want to, but like that kind of seems like maybe the path you went on, even though I think we both thought it differently.
Yeah.
We both get to that kind of end goal or result.
Yeah, I would agree. That sounds like you had a pretty similar thought process at the time.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
And that being intentional about it.
Yeah. It's probably the only thing I've ever been intentional about, that and like racking up Chipotle points. Okay. So I only ask you to talk about that stuff because I think it's a massive part of your story. And I meant what I said at the beginning, which is I still think you end up on these couches and with these families, with these people who helped you, whether your mom and dad are still here or not, but I think you get to them much quicker. And I think the relationship is different based on what you've lost and what you don't have in life. So you said it, a lot of people take you in, a lot of people help you. Take me chronologically if you can, because I know some of them, I don't know all of them. Who do you remember being like the first group? And this thing all does sort of focus on the places you stay and the places you spend some nights and wake up and learn from these people. So can you think of, was there anybody before the Eggers that you can really remember who really threw you a rope and said, hey, we got you. If you need to come stay, if you need to come have dinner, if you need anything. Because from the stories I've been told about you, families and groups in the karting industry were kind of like beating each other to offer that to you. Lots of people wanted to be there for you. Who do you remember being a part of that contingent?
I mean, there's a lot of people in the go-kart community in the Northwest that stepped up and helped in different ways. The Wimsets are one family. The Wicks,
Mm-hmm.
Byers,
Mm-hmm.
families up in kind of outer Seattle area.
Right.
Yeah, the Eggers, obviously. Raleigh.
Yeah.
At that time. There's tons of people that stepped up. I'm probably missing a bunch.
Well, I think there's kind of that core, right? And so we're going to spend our time talking about the Eggers because we both have benefited from their generosity and we both love them.
Mm-hmm.
But I do want to just quickly hit on the Wimsets. So for context here, for people listening to this who don't know who we're talking about here, but should know who we're talking about here because they helped get you to a place in your life where you're able to go make these jumps and work really hard. And that's my thing, right? Like none of these people did it for you. Nobody said, hey, come stay on my couch when you wake up, you'll work for Team Penske. That's not what this has ever been about, this deal I'm doing. It's more about who let you stay and get refreshed enough to go back into the world and start swinging the hammer again and go prove that you deserve these opportunities, right? So nobody that's done this thing or sat down with me has benefited entirely and gotten only to where they're at just because of these people, but these people help you. So the Wimsets help you. And for context, Joey Wimset is like the North American karting superstar at the time in the late 2000s, early 20-teens, I guess. Mm-hmm. And Joey is kind of the Captain America for United States karting, but he's from right down I-5 where you grew up. And is he just like another kid at the racetrack? Or is he like, oh my gosh, there goes Joey Wimsett? How do you view him as a kid growing up? Because before his family ever jumps in to help you and do all this for you, you're at the same racetrack with him. So who's Joey Wimsett to you at the start?
I mean, at that time, I'd spent enough time around Joey where he was a friend. But yeah, I mean, I'd always looked up to Joey and the select few guys that were always a class above me, ever since I was a kid. So like I'd watched Joey since I was, 8 or 9 years old, and yeah, I mean, I looked up to him at the time, and at that point we were buddies and see each other at the track, and I went to the high school he went to because it was just up the road from his house, and like, compare notes on, oh, did you have this art teacher? Or did you have this history teacher?
Right.
So like, yeah, we were buddies.
Yeah.
But
and then his sister Nicole's just a couple years older.
Yeah.
And
my boss at the time.
Yeah, and so she's running Pat's Acres for Chris and Lisa. They own it, and Nicole's kind of running the place for them as like an administrative lead. And you're working at Pat's Acres. I know that's where you were the day your mom died. And you're already friends with Brady, the youngest of the Edgar children, and you're working out there at the kart track. So Nicole is a big part of your life. Joey's a big part of your life as a friend, but he's also like this kind of big deal in the sport you love. And then Tim and Michelle, their parents, Tim and Michelle kind of give them the infrastructure to reach out and help you, right?
Yeah.
Nicole ends up becoming this kind of like, you used it last night, rock.
Yeah.
In your life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like Nicole was my question answerer for like life admin stuff.
Admin.
Like, because I was like 17, 18 years old, and Nicole was my boss at the time. So I'm like, Nicole, how do I do taxes? She's like, I already called our guy. Go to this place in Salem, drop off your stuff, they'll take care of it.
Wow.
I'm like, cool, thanks.
Oh, so they got you in with their accountant? Or their tax accountant?
Yeah, I mean, Nicole, yeah, he did my taxes for 3 or 4 years. So
I'm guessing they foot the bill for that?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I never paid, so yeah, I guess.
Well, I didn't mean to put you on the spot with that. I didn't mean to
Thanks,
put you on
Nicole.
Yeah. I didn't mean to put you on the spot with that, like whether you paid or not.
Yeah.
It's the fact that you wouldn't have even known to go to that guy.
No. And like, it was anything. It was like, Nicole, like when I moved into my dorm in college, it was like Nicole, Michelle, Lisa, I think Joey went down, like.
Moved you in.
Yeah. I can't remember if Maddie was there or not. She might have been.
She might have been already up in Bellevue.
Yeah, she might be mad at me if she was. And I don't remember it. But, yeah, like yeah, they literally, like, Nicole and Michelle went to IKEA and, like, got, like, I didn't buy anything for my dorm. They just, like, gave me all this stuff to go in my dorm.
Wow.
Like, my laundry bag I use today when I travel.
Oh, still?
Is the same laundry bag I had in the dorms.
That is proof, folks. If you help Artie Carpenter, he will not be ungrateful, and he will not get rid of what you help him with. He will hold on to it for 10-plus years.
I've got bins that were in my dorm that are in the garage still. Actually, no, they're up there. There's a couple bins up there that I had in my dorm.
That they bought you?
That they got for me.
And she helps you, like, with student aid paperwork?
Yeah, like, anything at that point. Like, I was like, my shoe comes untied at school, and I'm like, hey, Nicole, what do I do? Like, tie it. All right. That's a good idea.
Nicole's very just, like, common sense, but also no nonsense.
Yeah.
And I think Nicole, at least, I haven't seen or really hung out with Nicole in a long time now since I left Oregon. But, like, I remember when I first met her, I'm like, oh, man, this chick's kind of like Kurt. Like, she's kind of like, cut and dry.
Oh, yeah.
And I think she gets a bad rap, and you just don't know her well enough to know that, like, well, she's just trying to be direct and help you. And she's not trying to waste anybody's time, hers, yours, whatever. And I don't know, as a kid, as a college kid who, I didn't know you at that time. So I don't know, was that kind of like, was that abrasive to you? Or was it just like, no, this woman's just helping me, and she's looking out for me, and she's doing it punctually, and it's all good?
I think it was helpful. It was like it was always a quick decision. There
Right.
wasn't a lot of him and hawing.
No, Nicole does
It was
not.
just like,
She does not
I was
waste
like, no,
time.
just do this. And I'm like, you got it.
Well, and there's
I will just do that.
well, and there's something genuinely to be respected in just get it done. Just
Yep.
Don't tell me about the labor. Show me the baby. And that's Nicole, right?
Yeah.
And she did stuff like that for me, and I know she's done stuff for like that for all the kids at the track, and
Yeah.
and so the whim sets are a big help to you getting out of the door, because your mom passes right before high school, senior year starts, and then you get through senior year, and you're like, boom, off to college. It happens. Does it happen very quickly to you? Does it feel like in those days?
Like from,
Losing your mom, and then all of a sudden, man, I'm moving out. I'm going to college, because I mean, senior year flies by for a lot of people,
yeah.
but then you've just had this big gigantic loss and black mark to start that school year, and then you probably don't get to enjoy it and celebrate very much, and then here you are, boom, entering the fast-paced world of university life. And does that go really quick to you?
Yeah, I mean, senior year, I don't remember a whole lot from a good chunk of that time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, senior year flew by. I almost didn't graduate because I was like slacking off in classes, trying to go to go-kart races or work at the track just to escape school.
Yeah.
I had a sit down. Raleigh had to sit down with me, and at the track one day, and was like, I was working for him, and he's like, "Hey, you're gonna not work today. Go to a library. Go do your schoolwork."
This is during senior year of high school.
Yeah.
How did he know?
Someone called Dana, and then Dana called Raleigh.
Wow. So this is your mom's husband,
Yeah.
who you're pretty much left in the hands of
Mm-hmm.
up until your 18th birthday.
Yep.
And he knows Mike well, because Dana raced also. Didn't
Yeah,
he?
he raced go-karts, and he knew I was working for Raleigh
Right.
at the time a lot, or working for the track or working for Raleigh,
Okay.
one or the other.
And again, for context, Raleigh, Mike Rollison, owner of a big team up there. Maybe not even at that time, because you wouldn't have been working for just him, the guy. You would have been working for his race team.
Mhm.
So he looks at you and says, like, you're not working on go-karts. You're not helping me today. You're going. Really? He straight up sent you to a library?
I think so. He told me to leave. Like, I got to the track, and he goes, "Get out."
Well,
Like, I got into the trailer, and it was like, "Nope, go away."
speaking of a guy who knows how to make you feel warm and fuzzy.
But yeah, and then I mean that summer I was working go-kart races and bouncing around, so it flew by pretty quick.
So, of course, I want to talk about them a lot because of everything they did for me and everything they did for you. So let's talk about the Edgar family. You set the scene. Who are the Edgars?
Chris, Lisa, Maddie, Cameron, Dalton. Chris and Lisa, the mom and dad.
Aren't you forgetting one?
Am I?
You go Chris, Lisa, Maddie, Cameron, Dalton.
Brady. I forgot Brady.
Oh, boy.
Oh no.
That was not planned.
Oh no.
That was not scripted at all.
Brady. Yeah.
He's your pseudo blood brother.
Yeah, and I'm the best man in his wedding in 8 months.
Okay, so take two. Hey, Artie. Who are the Eggers?
Chris, Lisa, Maddie, Cameron, Dalton, Brady.
There we go.
Chris and Lisa are mom and dad,
Mm-hmm.
and Maddie, oldest of the four.
Mhm.
Cameron, second oldest. Dalton, second youngest.
Yeah.
Brady,
I'm just glad you remember there
fourth oldest.
Yes, there you go. Fourth oldest. I like that.
And yeah, family that owns Pat's Acres and hired me to run rentals at that time.
Yeah. You're a high school senior.
Yep.
You're working at the track. You'd been racing against the kids for a long time.
Yep. Grew up racing mainly Dalton, but knew of all of them with Chris putting on Cascade Regional Series, like a series, just like a little regional SCUSA series in the Northwest, and from us going to Pat's Acres, and I mean everyone in the Northwest karting scene knows the Eggers and all four of the kids. watching Brady and kid karts run into guardrails.
Man, you want to talk about a group of kids that have always had it pretty good because their parents own a racetrack and are loving, wonderful people. But also, think about it. Those kids had to grow up racing with their dad being the head official, the race director. And I've heard the story from all of them. Oh, yeah, if we did something wrong on track or if we were even near something, we were getting the penalty.
Oh, yeah.
Whether we did it, whether we were the guilty party or not, because Chris couldn't stand to look like he was, giving preferential treatment to his kids. So if they were even anywhere near an incident, if they did it, they got a penalty, and if they didn't, they probably still got a penalty.
Never get the benefit of the doubt
Mm-hmm.
on anything. And if you were racing against them, and you knew that, you could capitalize on it.
Oh,
I don't think I ever did. But
oh, sure.
now, if I think about it now, I'd be like, oh, dude, I totally would have done different stuff then.
I didn't even think
had I
about
known
that.
There was a few, Dalton and I had a few run-ins that were pretty good that Dalton remembers very well. I remember pretty well. But, yeah, they never got the benefit of the doubt. They
No.
always got it. And, like, they're always, like, all of them, like, worked on their own stuff.
Yeah.
And,
Well, think about it. Their dad couldn't do it. He was in the middle of the infield
yeah.
running the race. I mean, seriously.
No, it's true.
And that's why
It's true.
that's why all of them have had long careers in the sport of karting. So yeah, I mean, Pat's Acres is this like really, 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 I want to call it famous, well-known, historic go-kart track up in Canby, Oregon, just south of Portland by maybe an hour, maybe probably a little bit less.
Yeah.
And it's this badass natural terrain road course. That's the term they use in IndyCar racing, a natural terrain road course. And it's tucked off in these trees on this little almost island with a river that wraps around. I mean, it's like if you made a go-kart track for a movie. I feel like it'd be Pat's Acres. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it's a majestic place.
It is, dude. And when the sun sets off of turn one and the light comes through the trees in the pit area, I mean, I have half a dozen pictures of it from living up there, and I'm just like, this place isn't real.
It's true, especially when you come from like my home track was like in the desert, and like no trees, barely had grass.
Mm-hmm.
Or we had grass, but we had to water it like a lot.
Yeah.
Since we're in the desert, and you go to this track that has a bunch of trees, and a bunch of the pits are shaded because there's these like 100-year-old trees, and like it's such a beautiful place.
Well, and I didn't even know it when I first came. I didn't know it probably for the first 2 or 3 years. He's got a motocross track out in the trees.
Yeah.
And there's this big back 40 grass lot where people park and camp and party. And the Pudding River, how adorable is that? The Pudding River wraps around 3 sides of the property, and people are out there floating and fishing and splashing around. I mean, it was the perfect, I have to imagine, it had to be the perfect place to grow up as a kid.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't doubt it one bit.
Well, you did it.
Well, I mean, kinda.
Yeah, you got there late. I mean,
Yeah,
you
I
were,
got
you
there
were,
a little late.
You were in high
I mean,
school.
in high school. I
Mhm.
worked there, but I mean, I loved going out there and working. It
Yeah.
was like an hour from my house, and I still loved going out there.
Yeah.
Every day.
Well, you think you got there late. I got there super duper late. I got there duper late. So yeah, Chris and Lisa, they buy this go-kart track in the late 90s, and they take it over, and their kids grow up racing out there, and you become close with the family, and you're tight with Brady. He's just a couple years younger than you, but you race with all of them. You lose your mom. You're on your own. You're working out there already, and they just kind of never write you a personalized invitation. Move in with us, live with us. They never had to do anything formal. But the door was always open to you, and because you'd already been over there with Brady, the way I understand it is you just kind of start showing up and spending the night, and you'd come home from college for weekends or week breaks, and then the summer, you just naturally, you just kind of bypassed your stepdad's house, and you just end up going to the Eggers.
Mm-hmm.
Why'd you feel so comfortable?
I mean, they made it feel very comfortable. The door was always unlocked, as you know.
Literally.
And I mean, I would go over there just hang out with Brady, like most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was. I mean, they were always very open and welcoming,
Mm-hmm.
even before anything happened. Like Dalton, like when I moved to Oregon, Dalton and I hung out a lot, and it was the same. It was the same thing then, as it was after the fact.
Right.
But yeah, they were always just very open
So I was told
to anyone.
Yes. It's one thing.
Obviously.
It's one thing to let you in. You're a pleasant-looking, well-coiffed hair young gentleman. I come strolling in, and I'm just like, hey, where do you guys keep the whiskey around here? And Lisa's like, we don't do that, buddy. But you can have a whole bedroom to yourself, and here's the fridge, and we never lock the door, so you don't need a key.
Never.
I was told a story that the first Christmas after your mom passes, they invite you to Christmas, and you show up with gifts for everybody.
Yeah.
And that was not
It's
expected.
a goofy gift.
But you showed up with gifts, Artie. You came bearing gifts for everybody that was going to be at the Edgar Christmas, and they looked at you like, you don't know how to do that. Half the Edgar kids didn't bring gifts for everybody.
I mean, I learned that later, but yeah, I did.
So you're there, and like that's not something that just happens with people through karting. Is that one of the first moments? Now your mom's gone. You're on your own. You've probably been up at college, or no, it's your senior year of high school. But like when you're over there at their house for Christmas, is that kind of like, is that a sign to you that you're like, oh, these people are going to be pretty big in my life? Or is it just like, hey, they're just letting me in for the day and it's the holiday and they're really nice? How do you receive that Christmas when you get invited over there to be with them and be with a family on Christmas Day?
I mean, I didn't know at the time how impactful they would be. I mean, I didn't really know what to do at that time.
Right.
Like, my stepdad was a Jehovah's Witness, so he didn't even celebrate Christmas. Like, I don't even think we set up a Christmas tree
I did not know that.
that year. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, like,
One more strike.
and I think that Christmas, he went up to Seattle to see some friends. So, like, I woke up Christmas morning, like, there was no one in the house. And I was like, yeah, I think they had invited me, and I woke up and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go. Like, I'm not staying here. But I had no idea at the time that, like, yeah, that they would be that impactful. But I was very grateful to, like, have a place to go on Christmas.
Is this the Christmas that you leave and forget to text them?
That was the next year. I went home.
So you'd spent the day with them.
Yeah, I'd spent the whole day with them. And it was, I think everyone was over. Like Maddie, Brady, Dalt, Cam, Chris, and Lisa. And I left and I just drove. I didn't really want to go home. I think it was a similar situation. I don't think anyone was at my house. And I ended up just, like, driving around, like, downtown Portland and just, like, bopping around different places.
Killing time.
Just killing time. And I got home, and I got home and I just went to bed, and I didn't text Maddie or Brady or anybody that I made it home. And Maddie was very concerned. So her and Brady drove up to my house, which was like a 40-minute drive at like 3 in the morning to make sure that I, like, was home.
On Christmas night?
Yeah, on Christmas night. That night after Santa. So the morning of the 26th.
They just get in the car to come look for you?
Yeah.
And confirm?
Just to make sure that I was home.
Just to confirm you make it to the house?
Mm-hmm.
Did they knock on the door, or did they just turn around and go back home?
No, I think Maddie called me and left me a voicemail. And I think they just made sure that my car was there.
Okay.
So, but I mean, I woke up to, like, phone calls and text messages. I was like, ugh. They're like, you didn't text us. Oh, no. Sorry.
So life lesson number 1 from the Eggers, it sounds like, that Artie picks up is always text people when you've made it home.
Yes, 100%.
Still to this day.
Still not. Hasn't changed since.
Artie's living in North Carolina. The Eggers are still in Oregon. He's like, hey, guys.
I'm home.
It is midnight here. It is 9 p.m. where you are, but I'm home.
Yep, we just got back from St. Louis. I'm home.
Road America went well. I'm sleepy.
Thumbs up emoji.
Um,
Actually, I should let him know when I'm back from, like, not Monterey or not the nice places that we go.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to name any.
Right.
But
IndyCar doesn't go anywhere that's not nice. But maybe you do sometimes when you're on your free time.
Actually, Sebring stocks. I'll say Sebring.
Well,
let him know when I'm back from Sebring.
You guys don't race there, so it's okay.
Yeah.
And Sebring doesn't always suck. It's got its charm.
It does have its charm, but all you people who've been to the 12-hour have a different view of it
It's
than
a
when
party.
you go there for a 3-day IndyCar test with 2 cars.
That's true. Florida in March.
On the short course.
Yes. That place in March, it's great weather.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's a cool race.
Yep.
John Doonan's doing big things with that series.
That he is.
It's fun to be there. So I know you said in that article that promoted you going to the grand finals a few years later than what we're talking about now. You referenced that after your mom passed, you only wanted to be at the racetrack. You didn't want to do anything else but be at the racetrack. Is that just because, I don't know, why was that? Is it because it was safe? Is it because it was familiar? Was it a distraction? Why do you want to be at the racetrack so bad?
It's probably a combination of the three. It was there was a comfortability aspect to it. A familiarity, just being around people and being distracted from what was going on.
Yeah.
And it was just like a safe place to be.
Chris told me, and I hate how he worded it, but I'm just going to say it the way he worded it. Chris Edgar says, yeah, man, everything happened with Artie, and then he's just at the track. And I think Artie just wanted to be a kid and work on his go-kart, race his go-kart, and polish his helmets. I was like, Chris, we got to reword that. But he said that you and Brady, his youngest son, the kid you forgot to mention, you guys just
You're
wanted...
going to cut that out. It's fine.
Probably not. You guys just wanted to hang out. And I talked to you about this last night, and I know you'd probably never heard the theory before. Sounds like you didn't. You get super close with Brady, and I believe it's because he represents that age that you didn't really get to enjoy because you're just getting over the hump of losing your dad, and then you lose your mom. Is Brady, in those days, your little brother, or is he just a friend? Is he an escape? What is Brady? Because there's not two closer people that I can think of than you and Brady Edgar. So what is Brady Edgar to you in that summer? That first year after your mom passes and you're doing life on your own, who is Brady Edgar to you?
I mean, at that time, he's just like my buddy. Like, I mean, I don't think at that point I didn't feel as ingrained in that group as I do now.
No doubt.
So like, yeah, Brady was just a buddy. We were very similar in a lot of ways, very different in a lot of ways. Very similar in a lot of ways and get along really well, and both have bad humor, and it just clicks. It's fine. And we cared about similar stuff.
Maybe bad smelling humor.
But yeah, I don't know. He was just a buddy at the time. And we just clicked very well.
Well, I think that's, I believe you, and I think that's what you needed at that time was a buddy.
Yeah.
I asked everybody in the family to tell me about what was Artie like when he started hanging out a lot more, and just what were those days like? Because I wasn't there. I ended up staying with the family a few years later, and you're away at college and living on your own, and we obviously get very close, but you're not there when I'm living there with them. I'm living with Brady, Chris, and Lisa. So Chris and Lisa have their bedroom. I've got a bedroom, and Brady pretty much just sleeps on the floor in the round room like you and him would do all the time. So it's a different house when I'm there. Lisa and Brady both tell me a story about you. They tell it to me individually, not knowing that the other one had told me the story, but it ends up being the same story. And Lisa tells me about how it's like maybe Brady had just got his driver's license. He's around that age. I don't remember the details, but she goes, Chris and I come home from something, and it's like 10:30. It's late at night, and they come in the house, and Brady's not around. And they go, well, where's Brady? Because it's late. And Cameron sits up and goes, oh, he's with Artie. And your mom just takes that and goes, okay. And they're just like, all right, that's fine. Well, it was a big deal, apparently, because all the other Edgar children, to this point, Maddie, Cameron, Dalton, they had curfews. And I'm not sitting here saying, oh, the other three were troublemakers and Brady was an angel, because we all know he wasn't. We do know he was afraid of trees.
He was afraid of a lot of other things. But yeah, I mean, Brady was pretty easy. He didn't really.
Right. That's how Lisa described him.
Yeah.
He's easy. So the other kids are kind of like, well, this is weird. Like, we had curfews. And so you and Brady are off working with a buddy down the street on a car. You're throwing soda cans at stop signs. Where are you guys on this random night?
We were at my friend's house. Like, it was like 5 or 10 minutes up the road. And I think Brady's phone died. So we weren't
Aware of the time.
aware of the time, and I don't think at that point I didn't have a curfew.
Right.
And I didn't really think about the fact that like I was a few years older than Brady, which that's a big kind of gap at that point.
Yeah. 3 years.
Yeah, and so it didn't even faze me that would be an issue. And we were just up the street throwing frozen Pepsi Fire.
What's Pepsi Fire?
It's like cinnamon Pepsi. It was the reason we had it. Well, someone bought it. Like one of our friends bought it, and it was so bad. We were like, we gotta get rid of this.
But we're not drinking it.
We're not gonna drink it. So we just threw them at street signs in like a yellow Beetle that we like chopped the top off of, and yeah, I just didn't realize what time it was, and I think we must have got back, and Brady's like, oh, I think I have to get back. Like, oh no, curfew.
So you get done with your street vandalism, and
we were out in the sticks.
I'm joking. And
we went back and picked up all the cans.
Of course you did. Probably washed off the signs.
We did.
Yeah. We totally did that. And
as 19, 20-year-old kids, we definitely did.
Yeah, exactly. And Lisa goes, oh, it's probably midnight. And here come Brady and Artie walking in the front door. Not having to use a key because it's never locked.
Never.
And Brady kind of gets in and goes, hey, sorry, I was with Artie. And your mom and dad apparently just go, oh, that's okay. And at this point, like, it's like the bat signal goes into the sky, and Edgar kids are dropping out of like vents and crawling out from underneath couches, and they are mad because every one of them had a curfew, I guess, and Brady never did. So he technically didn't really do anything wrong because you can't break a rule if there's not a rule. And Maddie, I think, goes like, what? I had to pay $1 every minute I was over curfew. And apparently your mom goes, oh, he was with Artie. And that just became the slogan. That always became how they identified where Brady was it was just quickly always, oh, he's with Artie. Where's Brady? He's with Artie. And you end up kind of sort of getting guardianship pseudo facto of this strange little curly-haired point guard.
Yeah, he was a point guard.
Who played basketball on gym floors with carpet on him. And I just like, man, that had to be such a cool time in your life where you and Brady get to go run around and just so you know where I'm coming from with this, you guys kind of represented that part of my life where I didn't get to be a kid very much either. And I was really...
You did when you came into town.
That's what I'm saying, is like when I was friends with you guys, when I was friends, we're not friends anymore.
Back in the day.
When I was living there, you guys kind of let me be, a 17-year-old. Again, it felt like. And that I feel like was happening to you through Brady. So just what stands out about those days, those nights running around with him and just getting to be a kid for a little bit? Does anything jump out off the page to you? Any moments where you're just like, dude, I can't believe I got to do that, and I wasn't even born with this brother, but I had one?
No, I think Brady and I, we talk about it a lot now, of like, man, I wish we could just go back to just doing like dumb stuff, like just whatever we were wanting to do.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, what, like we wanted to like put like Home Depot buckets on like the wheels of like our 206s and like go just like see if we could do some skids. So we like cut up a bunch of buckets and like tried to make it work. It was like, it kind of worked. Cool. Like on to the next thing. Or like just anything. I mean, you experienced it when you were there with us. It was like we were pretty sporadic,
uninhibited,
and
just doing whatever you wanted.
Kind of, but it's not like we were doing anything bad.
No.
Like we were always like, it was always doing like dumb, innocent stuff. Like maybe the street signs maybe a bit much, but like it was always like we would go to Safeway, or we would be in the shop like trying to fix a generator that has been sitting there for forever, or like just like random stuff. And like those are the times that I like appreciate and miss, is like those more spontaneous nights. And like we still had to go to the track the next day, and we still had to, or we were going to go-kart races, or we were doing this or doing that. Like we still like did our normal work or did our normal lives.
Oh, but I can't tell you about the times when I first started coming to the Eggers, before I even lived with them, when I was just working for them, and I'd fly into town and they'd be like, oh yeah, Tony, you've got a room, up over here on this side of the house. And I'd see you guys, we'd all hang out in the round room, And then I'd get ready to go to bed at, midnight 30. And then here's you two just laying on the floor of the round room watching TV. And I look and I go, aren't those two going to bed? And everybody in the house pretty much goes, yeah, well, they are. And you guys would just stay there in the living room. And you guys, and it was most of the Edgar kids, honestly. Cameron was like this. I'm sure Dalton did it. Where it was like, oh, yeah, we got to be up at the track at 7 tomorrow. We're going to stay up and watch YouTube or karting highlights or some old NASCAR race or whatever, right? And I remember learning from you guys really early, like, oh, yeah, you just get up and do it. There's not a whole lot. There doesn't need to be this big show to it.
No.
You just go do it.
Yeah. And I mean, they definitely showed me that like you could, I mean, I don't know how many nights, like even you and I would sit up with Chris and Lisa and Brady and all of
Just
them
talk.
until 2 or 3 in the morning. Like, what time you got to be at the track tomorrow? I'll leave here about 7:30.
Yeah.
Which now I'd hear that and be like,
Right.
I couldn't do it. I'm in bed at 9. But like, yeah, then that's just what you did. And it was great.
I have a theory, and we haven't talked about this yet, so I'm going to spring another one here on you, and you can get mad at me or whatever. But like, I think that you're in this super high pressure role today with Team Penske, and you work in IndyCar racing, and you're in this tense environment all the time. And I'm not with you on the timing stand, so I'm not going to tell you that I know every single second of your day, right? But I think you do a very good job, Artie, at compartmentalizing. You've used that word with me already, hanging out with you this week. You talk about when this goes on during a race, you compartmentalize. When this happens during a race weekend, you try to compartmentalize. And you take what happens and you say, okay, that lives over here. I'm going to continue to focus on this. And then when I need to, I'll go back to that. I argue, and I want to know if you believe and agree with me or not, but I argue that time in your life where you're talking about when Brady and I would just do whatever we wanted. You'd screw off, you'd have fun, and then you'd click back in and you'd go to work. Or you'd stay up all night and you'd watch old karting races and you'd watch TV and you'd just sit up there and talk and be with each other. And you'd get 3 hours of sleep and you'd get up and go to the track and work.
Mm-hmm.
I believe personally, and I'm not trying to tell your story for you, but I think you learned this amazing skill that you don't even know you're learning. And it's to have fun and enjoy your life and do what you can do and just be in the moment and then switch gears and go do what you have to do and be in that moment. And you learn that by being a house guest to the Eggers and just screwing off and having fun and being a kid and then waking up in the morning and going and being a staff member at the track or being a kart mechanic or being a kart racer and having responsibilities. Have you ever thought about that? Do you agree? Do you disagree with my theory?
No, I would agree. I think compartmentalizing is something I not knowingly did for a long time on other stuff. But yeah, that's probably a pretty good way to explain it.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of, yeah, unplug and plug back in, and that's just what you did, and it made it a lot more fun. But yeah, I would agree.
You and Maddie, Chris and Lisa's oldest child, their only daughter, you and her have a pretty tight bond to this day. And Maddie told me the story as like her and Nicole Wimsett would talk sometimes, and Nicole would go, ugh, I only get to help Artie with tax questions and student loans. And Nicole would go, I got to help all that. Oh, I got to help him with just that. Maddie, you get to help him with like the girl questions in college or the fun stuff. What do we do here? How do I do this? I want to hang out with some people. I want to have people over. You and Maddie run the gamut of things that you and her have talked about and kind of gone through life with. What's your relationship with Maddie Edgar? How does that relationship help you as a kid in college and now to this day where you're off, you got a house, you're renting, you're traveling the world, working for this big race team? What does Maddie Edgar do for you?
I mean, Maddie's just, a rock for me, and I can go to her with any big or small problem and talk through it, and she has been so giving with her time to talk to me on the phone, like especially like since moving out here, like hours and hours on the phone with her over the last few years, and just talking through anything regardless of what it is. Like she's been so willing and helpful for me to just talk me through anything and just be there.
It's probably all stuff that you You only reason you're talking to her and asking her is because you don't know how to do it. So
Yeah.
So you're leaning on her to help you make maybe some decisions for the first time.
Yeah.
She ends up helping you out pretty big, along with a bunch of other people. 2015, you have a great year in karting, and you get on track. You're racing the Can-Am Karting Challenge, and you're you're aided by all these people, right? And these are people that maybe didn't necessarily put you up on a couch or help you out in a guest room. Well, I don't want to name them because they're your people. Who, when you think of that 2015 Can-Am season that you end up winning the championship in, because that's where we're going with this, who are some of the people that, because you weren't going to race, you were going to go be a tuner. You were going to be a mechanic for Kyle DePell, I think, and you're going to work and not even compete. And then it turns out that you do get on track and you compete, you win this championship, and you win this ticket to go compete in Portugal and represent America and the United States. But you don't get on track if it's not for the help of some people. Who do you remember stepping up to help you that year?
That was a lot of people. It started with Raleigh helping me with an entry for the first race, and Luke Vasquez, who was my mechanic at the time, and Ben Eakins, who they ran the go-kart team that I'd kind of run for at that point, Black Flag Racing, and Blake Craig, engine supplier, TrueTech Engines. The Wick family letting me a chassis at a race.
Oh, wow.
That Chilliwack race, it wasn't my frame. Because I had a pretty clapped out frame at that point. And Craig was like, hey, we got this chassis if you want to run it. And I back-to-backed it on Thursday at Chilliwack. I was like, oh.
What do you mean you back-to-backed it?
I ran my chassis and then I ran it.
Oh, got it.
And I was like, oh, dang.
Theirs is better.
I got to run it. Cristione family helped me with an entry fee. A lot of people that year helped. And I mean, I pieced together every race. Barely.
You mentioned Ben Eakins.
Ben.
So all those people and more, I know, help you get on track and run this, 3-weekend, 6-race deal? 4-weekend, 8-race?
4-weekend, 7-race.
Yeah, because Pat's Acres is a big, long championship style
Yeah.
weekend. I loved those, by the way.
They're fun.
And you win 4 races that year, I think, in Can-Am? 1 at Chilliwack.
Yeah. I won, 4.
Okay. And you get enough points to win the championship, and that earns you the right to go represent Team USA in the Rotax Grand Finals, which is a massive... It's arguably the biggest thing in karting, if you ask me. I mean, I know there's all the European, WSK, and KWS, and SWK, and all these abbreviations, KFC, TMJ. But at least when I was growing up, Rotax Grand Finals were a huge deal. And you are now awarded the opportunity to go represent the United States of America as a member of that championship-winning program and go over there. But all that championship gets you is a ticket to go over there and race. It gets your name on the entry blank. That's all it gets. You still have a hefty bill to pay to get over there and go racing. And the way I understand it, that was a bill, that was an amount of money that you probably weren't going to whip out your wallet and put a credit card down and cover to go do that. How do you get over there to go race?
Well, after, we pieced together every race, essentially. And after the final, when we figured out we had the ticket, me and my mechanic, Luke, who had been helping me a lot that year, we're like, awesome, cool. Now what? We got to get there. I'd never been to Europe before. I was like, that's really far. Do we have to drive? But, yeah, I mean, we didn't really know what to do. And Michelle Wimsat and can't remember if it was Michelle and Nicole or if Nicole was working. They walked around the pits at the end of the day, with a bucket, basically. Help Artie go to Portugal.
Oh, no way.
And I think by the time we got to podiums, it was a couple grand. And then the couple days later, Maddie started a GoFundMe, and I mean, I think it got to I think it was $11,000, and I think it got there in under a week.
Wow.
And it was wild.
And these are just
mind-blowing to me.
And these are just people from the Northwest?
People from the Northwest, people from
I thought it was like
U.S. karting.
Yeah, I was like, I kind of thought you had the support of a lot of like U.S. karting.
Yeah, and like people that weren't in karting, like it was a lot.
Right.
So like borderline overwhelming, but yeah, it was incredible how quick it came together, and even the fact that it came together.
Right.
But that's the only reason I got there.
To go over and represent and race in this massive, massive karting event, when you're pretty much at that point at best, I don't want to be rude, but you're a regional go-kart driver, kind of at best. I know you and your dad would go do some national stuff, and you went on. I know you've done the Super Nationals a few times, but you're a regional guy.
Piece together programs also.
Yeah, no doubt. But man, that's like those are the best stories, right? Like nobody really wants to hear about. Oh yeah, everything was taken care of, and it was great, and it was easy, and I won. It's more like, yeah, I couldn't believe we got there. All these people helped me. And that was you in this one specific instance, certainly. And all these people step up to help get you there. Why do you think they did that? I mean, I have my theory.
I don't know. I mean, I think there was people that knew my story, I guess, that wanted to help. But I don't know.
I think it's because
there's a lot of nice people in the world.
Well, there's no doubt there's a lot of nice people, but I think there's a lot of people that think you're a great person and wanted to see you make the most of an opportunity you earned. Because, again, I can't say enough, this couch deal, it's not about telling people, oh, yeah, if it's not for this family and that family, these people that you see on the couch, well, they don't ever make it anywhere. No, they just help you show the abilities that you already have inside of you. And they help you work really hard and prove to the world that you should be in these seats, in these opportunities, in these positions to make something happen. So I think it's a lot of people just going, man, that Artie kid's really, really good at what he does, and he's a great human, and we should step up and help him. And that's, I think, why these people open these doors up to you. Chris and Lisa Edgar taught a lot of people a lot of stuff, and I know Chris helps you kind of with another really crazy part of your life that you probably never thought you'd have to deal with, and Chris, along with Mike Rollison, kind of help you go to war over something that was probably pretty unpleasant to have to deal with as a young person.
Yeah, they helped me. I had a little bit of litigation I had to go through with my stepdad, who owed me some money, and I didn't know what to do, and like it was a whole situation. But they helped me through it, walked me through it, helped me financially with some lawyers for a little bit until I could pay them back. And yeah, I mean, I was super lost at that point on what to do. I took time off of school. I couldn't sleep at night. I didn't know how to handle the situation. And like Chris and Lisa and the Edgar family and Raleigh like really stepped up and brought me up and taught me a bunch of stuff about like, how home loans work and, proper ways to communicate with an attorney and going to these attorney meetings and all this stuff. And, Raleigh and Chris teaching me, your demeanor when you speak to an attorney, and you bring passion and you try and like instill emotion and like all this stuff. Like there's so much stuff that they taught me through that situation alone. That was pretty tough. It was 3 years of back and forth with attorneys I only took one term off of school, so I ended up going back, I was taking like the minimum amount of credits possible so I could pay for it, and so I could still kind of keep one foot in that and kind of focus on that. But yeah, that was a tough and another confusing time. I still had all my stuff at my old house, which I was once the ball started going on this, it was like I was directed to go get all your stuff out of the house, and on your last trip say, hey, this is what's going to happen. And that's what I did. So I moved all my stuff out, moved it into back left corner in Chris and Lisa's shop, and that's where my entire house of stuff went. which is now in the garage and in the trailer in my driveway, covered in 10 inches of snow.
Do you think if Chris and Mike don't step up to front the bill, and that's not the biggest part necessarily, they don't step up and just help you deal with a lawyer and help you advise you on what to do, do you think if they don't step up in that moment, you don't get what's owed to you and you don't get your family's possessions?
100%. Well, I mean, I'm sure I would get some stuff out of the house, but I don't think I would have got what was owed to me. But I got the ball rolling on that whole deal with Seth McCauley, which is a close friend of ours.
Great human.
Yeah.
Wonderful man.
Because I was getting phone calls because the house was going into foreclosure. Like,
oh yeah, Seth works in real estate.
He was in real estate, and I was like, Seth, what's going on? Like, why? I was getting phone calls from like asking what I was going to do with my property, and to not get too far into it. Like, it was kind of a complicated thing, but I talked to Seth, and then Seth pointed me in the direction of an attorney, and then Chris helped me with that, and then with the help of Chris and Raleigh, found a different attorney, which was like one that was recommended through one of Raleigh's guys. And yeah, I mean, I wouldn't, like, it took a lot of steps to even get to where we ended up going with it. But no, I don't think without them, like, I wouldn't have known what to do.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of confusing, and it was such a big thing that kind of got thrown in my lap. I was like paralyzing. It's like when you have too much homework to do, like you can't even start it. It was like that.
Right.
And like I just didn't know. I didn't know what direction to go. I didn't know what to do. So like, yeah, obviously talking to Seth and Chris and Raleigh.
Yeah.
Like I was able to get through that. But yeah, that was a tough 3 years.
I can't imagine. And I know school as a mechanical engineer is already wildly hard. I'm grateful and honored to say I've got some really good friends that I went to school with in Colorado who graduated with mechanical engineering degrees, and it's just a very, very hard thing to be good at and to be educated in. And I know you struggled with, at times wondered if you should stay in the course or if you needed to go do a different thing. And then for this to be going on in the middle of all that, I mean, do you ever just catch yourself and just be like, how am I going to get through this? And then if you do have that thought, what do you tell yourself? How do you push through when you're going through these a legal battle? You're living without any source of real family. You've elected this incredibly hard field of study, and everything just feels like it's probably hitting you all at once. How do you keep going? I mean, I'm not trying to make it out like you were healthy. You weren't fighting anything with your with your body. You were in a very blessed position. I'm not trying to make it out like, it was the hardest thing that anybody's ever gone through, but you still had your mountains, you still had your challenges, and everybody does. So how do you get through those hard times?
You just keep going, and like, yeah, your support systems are what get you through that. And I'm very grateful to have had a big support system from a lot of different ways. The school stuff, I had one, Kyle Baldus helped me with mindsets a lot through that, which is like a buddy we know.
Mm-hmm.
We grew up racing go-karts with him. He's a lax bro. But yeah, Kyle, I mean, you spend enough time around Kyle, like he's like, you just gotta want it and you just gotta do it.
Yes.
And like, which like sounds so simple.
Right.
And, but he's so right.
Yeah, sometimes.
And like Kyle helped me through a bunch, like on the school stuff, and like, yeah, dealing with all that. Like I had a support system and like all those facets, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, I always had like a side to lean on.
Mm-hmm.
When I mean, there were a lot of times, especially at that point, where I wanted to stop going to school, to just be done with it. But I didn't really have that. I mean, everyone has the choice to. I didn't want that to be a choice. Like, I didn't, and like, there were people in my corner pushing me to make sure that wasn't a choice. Like, Raleigh being a big one on that. Baldus being a big one on that. Like, just to keep going. But yeah, it was just all those different support systems are what like help keep me on track in like all those different tracks, right?
Mm-hmm. Chris and Lisa are the Edgar family is very strong in their faith. I don't know what role faith and religion play in your life today. I don't think it's a wildly big one. But was that kind of your first introduction to faith and believing in a higher power, staying and living with them? Because it's definitely a prominent part of their life. They're vocal about it. They're not, they're not preachy about it. I would never say that, but they're proud of it, which I think is a great thing. I don't know, what was your upbringing like? Was that something that affected you when you lived there, and is it still a part of your life in any way today? Maybe you're not, going to church every Sunday, and maybe you're not, handing out free Bibles at IndyCar races, but did that part of their life seep into you at all, as so many times things like that do when you live with people for an extended period of time?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I had no real knowledge base before being around the Eggers. I think they do a very good job of weaving that into their day to day, and I do carry some of that now, and probably not as much as I should, and I'm sure I'll be better on that with time. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely like you said, they never pushy on it. Like, always, the door was always open if you wanted to talk about it or had any questions on it, which I thought was always really cool. It was like, it was never like, for me, not having a knowledge base on something and then asking questions. It's not really like, I usually try and like gather some information before I ask questions, and like they're very open to wherever your starting point was. Right?
That's a great way to put it. Well, and I like that they never
pushy.
They never. That's exactly it. They would never look down on you, because
No.
I always joke with people. I say, I'm a Christian. I'm just not a very good one. And Lisa heard that. Lisa's the most faith-based individual I've probably ever met in my life.
Yeah.
When Lisa tells you about something from the Bible, you believe it because she believes it so well. And I love that about her. And Chris is the same way. Lisa's like even more vocal about it, right? And I just know that when I lived with them, I bet I went to church with them less than the amount of times you could count on one hand. But they never looked down on you. They never were like, they were never shitty to you about it. And to me personally, with where I fall in line with faith, that's how you're supposed to be. It's supposed to be an open book. It's supposed to be an open door. And if people want to join, great. Let's be there as a community for them. But it's not, nobody's better because they go to church or they read the Bible or they do or they don't. So I just know that was a big part of my living with them.
Yeah.
But like, they showed it to me in different ways. Chris will have a glass of wine or a glass of port, and
you see that big wine cabinet?
Yes.
The thing's like,
since they've redone the house.
Yeah.
And like, I'm sure Lisa's had a glass of wine on evenings I've been down there hanging out with him.
Yeah.
I was living with him when I was still in my early 20s, mid-20s, and I'd get after it. And I know that was not how I should have lived, and I know that's not something Lisa wanted her kids to be around. But she never once told me, hey, you're a bad person because you drink too much. She never said, you're a bad person because you do that around my kids. She did everything she could to give me other options. She did everything she could to help me spend my time other ways, and I'm so grateful for that. And I don't think, you ever really walked that kind of zigzag line that I did while staying with them. I'm embarrassed when I think about it for what they did and the doors they opened to me, and I reciprocated it by getting drunk in their living room, but like, I chalk it up to it was growing up, and I don't do it anymore. But they just always seemed like all they wanted to do was love people and help. And that's affected me. I don't know about you, but that's affected me in the sense of like, yeah, I'm not running down the street asking people to come stay and crash on my couch and stay with me for a few months. But I'm way more open to the idea of just offering as much help as I can when the circumstances allow it than I would have ever been before living with them.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, and it's something we want to take into our life going forward. And it's like, I'm sure you have a very similar approach where like so many people helped you. It's like I would love to be that conduit for someone else in a similar, well, in a scenario where you can help,
Mm-hmm.
right? Whether it's letting them stay on the couch for however long or stay on the floor like we did. Like, no, they were so welcoming and so open
Mm-hmm.
to it. And yeah, I want to carry that forward in my life.
I mean,
100%.
you've done it already. Like, you're gonna think I'm being corny and joking here, but like, okay, I get done at Daytona and I want to come up through Charlotte and get some of these couch conversations with people, and you tell me, yeah, you're staying here. You don't even ask if I want to. You're
So
just,
the first time I can host you.
I know.
Isn't that crazy?
Well, and to be fair, I don't even know if I've ever hosted you per se. You've come over and hung out while you guys were in Indy testing, and but I don't think you've ever crashed or anything
No.
and spent the night. But like, you're putting me up and letting me stay in Charlotte and get work done that I want to do for me and eat out of your fridge. Chris Edgar once told me, he goes, success is living out of another man's fridge for free. And that's what I did with them, and that's what you did with them, and that was success at the time, but they elevated us to go have more success. And I always ask people at the end of these, who have you put up? Who have you helped out? Who have you let stay? Or at least who are you planning? How are you planning to do that? And you're 29 years old, and you've already opened up your house. You've already opened up a guest room to somebody who needs it. And yeah, it's maybe not to get me to the next big break, but I need to be in Charlotte to get some stuff done. And you open up your door and say, whatever you want out of the fridge, whatever you need in the house, whatever you need in the garage, take it. And I think you would have done that regardless, but it's pretty cool to think you got that hand, and now you're able to give that hand to other people. And I'm sure you'll continue to do it as you grow older and as you get more success and as you get a bigger couch and as you get a bigger living room. I imagine that'll be I told Christopher Bell, if this thing lives more than a week, this show, I want to come back in 10 years and check in with people like you and go, who have you helped out?
Yeah.
Because I'm sure the list will be, whether it's long or talented, it'll be one of the two, if not both. And I'm excited about that. If you could just say anything about the importance of relationships in this sport, and just, not even motorsports, just life. Like, you're in a good spot in your life because of relationships. What would you tell Artie Carpenter 10 years ago about relationships if you could talk to him today?
That they're the most important thing we have, and the people in your life are the most important thing that you have. And you should, it's something that should be cherished and should be looked after, and don't take it for granted, because it is very important.
I agree completely because I know I wouldn't be where I'm at without the help of
Yep.
people.
Yep.
And for me, it's a God thing. It's God gives us everything, but the best thing he gives you is the people. And he gives you the people to help you do the things you want to do or you need to do. And
And sometimes you don't even know why,
boom.
good or bad.
I mean, this is at the risk of being way too deep here and being like crazy.
We can get there.
Yeah, well, I'm about to.
We can get there.
Do you think God takes your parents from you the way that he does at the time in your life that he does to put you in the position to have the relationships with the people you've had to teach you that right there?
That's a really good question. I don't know. Maybe it is something that, I had to get taught, or maybe it's something that in 30 years will come to fruition, and it'll make more sense, or like you don't know, right? Like everything. There's the saying, everything happens for a reason. I mean, I think things happen. Things happen, and then I don't even know how to say it.
It's a huge question.
It's a huge question.
And I could have put 10 minutes of qualifying statements around it. And I just want you to know that I don't ask that question because I think, oh, if your mom and dad are here today, you don't care about other people. It's not like if your parents are still here, I imagine a reality where Artie Carpenter doesn't think relationships are important. That's not what I mean.
Yeah.
What I mean is, I think you and I both know that there are other people in our life who maybe haven't lost very much, and they've kind of had a bit of a charmed path, for lack of a better term. And maybe some of those people don't value the relationships in their life the way that they should.
Yeah.
And it's probably only because you don't know what you have till you lose it, right? And all those other dozen cliches. You don't know they're the good old days till they're gone. And you don't know what you've got till it's gone. All that stuff, right? I just wonder, because I think about it all the time with my mom passing. My mom passed, and that same day, my dad, my brother, and my sister and I, who were truthfully not that close because our mom kind of acted as like the barrier between all of us to keep fighting and strife and controversy down. Well, the day our mom dies, man, we got Dad, Cecily, Nick, and I. We got to get tight like that because we're all each other's got.
Yeah.
And I miss my mom every day, and I wish she was here, and I'd give anything to have her back. But I know that she passed, and something good had to come out of it. Something had to. I think the only real losses in life are the ones where you don't gain anything at all. And
no, you learn a lot. I mean, you learn a lot through those scenarios.
You learn so much. And I wish your parents were here. I wish my mom was here. But I just wonder if God gives us those opportunities. Like you said it so perfectly. Your mom moves the cart trailer to the cul-de-sac. And all of a sudden now you have this opportunity to spend more time around your karting stuff and learn it because you're the only one. Does God give us more time with the hard parts of our life to learn how to deal with them?
Who's to say?
Yeah, I don't know. And I guess it's all about how you want to look at it.
Yeah.
You tilt your head this way, you tilt your head that way, whatever. But I just think you have the value of, it's like, who doesn't know the value of money? Probably a rich kid who's never lost it or had to work for it. Well, sometimes I just wonder if people who have had loss of important people in their life maybe have just a slightly, not even better, but just a different view of the importance of relationships and people in their life.
Yeah. I mean, just you and me as examples, like very similar views on it now, 10 plus years after the fact. Like I would say that that's true.
Yeah.
Because it is important. And you should care for them and take care of those relationships because they are important. And you never know. You never know who's going to be the next one or what's going to be that next important relationship.
Bingo.
There's so many people, like especially in this industry, so many people you spend so much time with. Like, you never know.
Well, it's such a small industry.
Super small.
I don't remember who I was talking to, but I heard something where somebody goes, you think it's this big giant world of racing. It's really not. Whether you're in this city of Charlotte, North Carolina, or you're in Indianapolis, it's a fishbowl. And everybody knows everybody.
Yeah.
And if you do something stupid, everybody's probably going to hear about it. And if you do something really, really good, probably less people will hear about it.
Yeah, for sure less people.
But people still hear about it.
Yeah.
And so I love how you said that, take care of the relationships. That's such a good point. Like you said about Baldus. Like, oh, what a basic thought. Like, oh, you just got to want it. You just got to work. And you just got to take care of the relationships. I love that. I think that's such a simple thought, but man, what an important one. If you don't take care of the relationships, they won't be there.
No.
And I don't know how you came upon that thought yourself or how you land on that conclusion. I don't know if you know how you came upon it, but like, you have to take care of the relationship. And that doesn't mean take care of the people. That means take care of the bond between you and that other person.
Yeah, 100%. And especially ones that you do hold with a lot of value, and you don't want to throw that away.
Mm-hmm.
And the people that you want to give back, and the people that help you want to give back to them in any way you can. Yeah, just by caring and taking care.
Yeah, well, that's my thing for this. I've said it already in a few of these, but like a litmus test for me about a good person, whether someone's a good human or not, is just, especially if they're successful, how quickly are they willing to share the credit? And I think about this in your world all the time. When Will Power, when Joseph Newgarden, when Scotty Mack get out of a winning race car or a top 5 or wherever, right? and I know this because I'm the person holding the mic, asking them the questions, right? You can't say, hey, Joseph Newgarden, congrats on the Indy 500. Who got you here? You know what I mean? You don't have that time in a live television broadcast for this kind of answer. But the point of this deal is, well, yeah, Artie Carpenter's in a great position. Christopher Bell's in a great position. Dylan Welch, Rico Abreu, all these people are in great positions. They probably want to talk about the people who helped get them there, but you never get the time. Nobody's interviewing engineers, on an IndyCar weekend. Nobody's going up to the performance engineer and saying, hey, how'd you guys win? How'd you guys get here? How'd you get here, Artie? So
that's what's cool, though, right? Is to, like, being able to talk to these people and figure out how they got to where they got.
Well, I just want people to realize that I hope people listen to these. If one person listens to them and they gain the thought, which is, I am a good person. I am being a good person away from meeting the right person who might help me in my career. And again, it's not like, oh man, the Eggers did everything for Artie and he's a Team Penske crew member now because of no, you were just given the opportunity to prove what you could do and what you were capable of, thanks to Mike Rawlson helping you and the Eggers and the Wimsets and all these families who stepped up and helped you, right? And that's why when an IndyCar driver for Team Penske can't make it to the sim, you're driving the sim. You're driving the IndyCar sim to help Team Penske gain more data. Well, you're probably not in that position if you don't have all these accolades in racing and karting and driving, and it's just everything feeds into itself. That's what I think, and that's what I've seen with you. Time and time and time again. Your dad doesn't take a chance and get you a go-kart and you guys don't go racing, then your mom doesn't step up when your dad passes to keep you racing, and you don't keep your nose down and you don't keep working hard and you don't win all these races and championships and go over across the ocean to race and work your butt off in school, man, you're not where you're at. But you had to get help from all these people. And
each one is a step to the next, right?
Yep.
And you don't get to one without this.
Yep.
Like it's a ladder.
Well, I'm going on a tangent again, like I said I wouldn't, but I just
it's normal. It's fine.
We're just very fortunate to have these people that helped us.
Yeah. And we're fortunate to have like a lot of the same people.
That's what's crazy about it for me. And I told you this last night, but like
super crazy.
That's why I wanted to do this with you so bad, because you and I both crashed in the same guest room. Ipso facto. Yeah, you slept on the couch in the living room.
We all slept in all the rooms in the house at some point.
Really did.
Did you hit all of them?
No, I never slept in like the front in Brady's, what would have been deemed Brady's bedroom. But
really?
But I've come back years since, and I've slept in the back corner bedroom, which I guess would have been Maddie's. And then, I had the first time I ever stayed there, I had a futon mattress, or whatever the thing you sleep on a futon is, that pad.
Yeah.
I had that on the floor of the upstairs loft, and Cameron slept in the bed in the corner of the room. And I have memories of you and Brady coming in and waking me up.
Oh, yeah.
Standing over top of me, because I'm on a futon pad on the floor and Cameron's in the bed.
Yeah.
And then finally, Cameron, he goes his way and he moves out, and then I get promoted to the bed. And then, so yeah, I've slept in almost every room in that place too, but not as well traveled. And I've come home from races and realized every bed was taken because Lisa had family in town, and I was behind a couch in the round room between a couch and some workout equipment.
Yep. I've slept there too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, on the inversion table.
Yep. That's a tough one to sleep on. You can't sleep there very long.
You can't. Too much blood goes to your head. I always end these with some kind of fun rapid fires, just about, hey, what do you do as a house guest? You've become a professional house guest in your life of gypsy and all around and staying with people, living here and there. So these are just, hey, how do you think you should do it now that you're a 29-year-old bigwig professional racer and working in the sport that you love? This isn't how did you do it when you first walked into the Eggers house. This is just, what do you think today? So the first one is shoes. When you come into someone's house for the first time that day, that week, whatever, and you got your sneakers on, what do you do with them when you come in the house?
Read the room. If there's shoes by the door, leave them by the door. If people are, usually don't walk in first, so you see how they walk in.
Yeah.
And if they kick their shoes off, you kick your shoes off.
Right.
But if they keep them on, you keep them on.
Once again, we're sitting here doing this, and you've still got your sneakers tied to your...
It's cold, man.
It is cold. Yeah, and so you're saying if you come in from a snowstorm and there's 8 inches of snow out there, don't take your caked in snow shoes and then kick them over the hardwood floor.
Not on the brand new hardwood floor.
I don't know who would do that.
There was a lot of snow.
Yeah, it was a lot of snow.
It's okay.
What do you do? Everybody's TV today is a smart TV, and everybody can access YouTube and these streaming channels. And I want to preface this with like, hey, I'm not saying, nobody's in this scenario. You're not walking into a living room where people are glued to the TV and everyone's actively watching something. This is not the scenario of you walking in and being like, hey, let me show you guys something, and changing the channel. It's, hey, everybody's sitting around. We're out here. The TV's on, but nobody's really watching it. It's the news. It's Sports Center. It's something that nobody's glued to. How do you act with the remote? Do you go, hey, guys, let me show you these really awesome Will Power highlights. Let me show you.
I would do that.
Do you take the remote?
We did it today.
We did do it today. We did literally watch Will Power highlights. Do you take the remote and go, hey, nobody seems to be glued to this. Let me show you guys something, and put on something that you think the room will enjoy, something that you enjoy, or are you just that guy who's like, yes, Dancing with the Stars, season 3?
Unless there's something on, like tonight would have been like, if that was going on, I would have been like, hey, Supercross is on.
Right.
Let's turn on Supercross.
Instead of having this 2-hour-long conversation.
But no, unless there's something in particular, I probably wouldn't say anything, wouldn't do anything.
So you're just like that cool, respectful guest who just doesn't rock the boat.
Just put up with Dancing with the Stars.
Sounds boring.
Yeah.
What about when you say goodnight to your host, you're crashing for the night, for the week, whatever? I mean, this would be a night-by-night basis. But you get upstairs, you go to your room, wherever it is, and you go, oh my, it's a little warm in here. Or, oh goodness, Willikers, it's cold. And you're like, I won't be able to sleep in this temperature. How do you fix it? What do you do? What's the recourse? When you've said goodnight and you're like, oh, I need to change the temperature some way, somehow, what do you do?
I mean, I would look around in the room and see what I could do to fix the situation.
What does that mean?
More blankets, or open a window, or...
Okay.
And if it was like... I probably wouldn't say anything if it was too hot. I would probably say something if it was too cold.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it's a lot easier to sleep when it's cold than it is if you're sweating.
Yeah, but if it's cold and you get like that cardboard blanket I have upstairs, like I'd be like pretty bummed. Like I'd have a tough time sleeping. But yeah, I'd probably just try and see what I could do with the tools at hand.
I was announcing for IMSA one year, and I got to the Airbnb. I was sharing with like 4 or 5 other guys at Lime Rock, and they had a futon in the dining room for me because there were like 4 bedrooms, and I was the 5th guy, and I got there late, and so there's a futon laid out flat in the kitchen dining room.
Okay.
And there is one throw pillow, and a sheet, and it wasn't even like a full futon sheet. It wasn't even a sheet. It was like a curtain, and I was like. I actually, you know what? I swear to God, I don't think there was a sheet. I think there was a throw pillow, and that was it. And I slept with just a throw pillow and nothing over my body.
Dude, that's rough.
Yeah, so to get back into I slept naked. No, I'm kidding.
We stayed at an Airbnb one time in NOLA for a go-kart race.
Mm-hmm.
It was the whole team. I think it was like 25 of us. 2 bathrooms.
Oh, no.
Yeah, dude.
Not on your life.
Dude, it was me. I think there was 5 of us in one room.
Oh, no way.
And it was like bed, air mattress, air mattress, air mattress.
Wow, that's how RPG puts you guys up?
It was funny, but it was rough.
I would not have thought that was funny.
My bed was right in the walkway to one of the bathrooms, so like all morning.
All night, all morning, you're just, yeah, hey, how's it going? Yeah, shitter's clear.
Yeah.
Dude, we did that this past summer at Port Royal, a sprint car race. We had to go up there. And it was like, I don't know. I mean, I bet there were 7 or 8 of us in one Airbnb, and it was 2 bathrooms. And I thought that was egregious. You had 20+ people. I would have lost my mind.
It was funny.
You have a way bigger. I'm not going to say you have a better tolerance. I'm going to say you're a way nicer guy than me, because I would have been throwing hands.
When the group is good, man, it makes a big difference.
I don't care, Artie.
When the work group is good,
it could be you.
I mean, it makes it okay. It makes it a lot easier.
It makes it maybe.
It doesn't solve it, but it makes it a lot easier.
Great. Now my blood pressure's up. The last one that I can really think of or remember here. Oh no, we talked about this one earlier. How do you What's your guest bedroom strategy? Because if you're on the couch, I mean, there's not much to do here, right? Like you throw a blanket down, you put some pillows, you go to sleep, and you wake up, and that's it, right? You're done. What's your guest room? Having spent the night in a guest room strategy, how do you take care of that place once you're done in there for the night?
Make the bed exactly as it was when I got in there.
That's the trick. That's the tricky part, Artie.
That is the tricky part. Just make sure everything's full. Basically, leave it exactly as it was, or take the sheets off and if it was told.
These days, I'm an ask. I'm like you with the shoes, right? I go, what? Hey, do you want me to take? Hey, am I taking the sheets off, blankets down to the washroom, whatever? Most times people tell you no. I think because they think I don't know how to take fitted sheets off beds or something, but
they're tough.
I just like to ask. They're tough putting on too. But yeah, I learned the hard way a long time ago from Stacy Cook after I left a guest room ghastly in shambles. I just got up and left and walked out the door, and I didn't make the bed. I didn't put the pillows back on it. I didn't do anything. I left it like a tornado went through there. And Stacy saw me a few days later, and he goes, "My wife probably never gonna let you come stay the night again." And I, "What do you mean? I'm in college. I'm like a freshman." I literally don't remember what he's talking about. And he's like, "You left that bedroom in that guest room we gave you like a bomb went off, and Melissa was down there cleaning it up and taking care of it and putting it back together for an hour." And I felt like this big, right? So for years, I would take pictures of every guest room bed I slept in before I took it apart, before I took the pillows off, because you put those pillows back the wrong way. Someone's mom's going to be mad at you.
There will be hell to pay.
Decorative pillows are a pain in the butt if you're a professional house guest.
Yeah. I do the stack method.
Yes.
I stack them in the opposite order of which they were.
Yeah, so back up towards the way, and then the one on the ground is the one that was closest to the bed.
Yep.
That's pretty smart. But you're an engineer. I couldn't stack them evenly enough. I'd just be like, they fell.
Like Legos.
Oopsie rigatoni. And then how do you say thank you? What's the way to like let someone know you really appreciate? And I guess I'll open it up. I always do it like a food deal because clearly I like to eat. So for me, it's like a gift card or it's a meal or it's let's go out to eat. How do you say thank you for getting to stay somewhere?
I think I've done a poor job of that in the past. I think now that I'm older, it's probably something I will pay attention to more. But you say your thank yous and yeah, I don't know. I haven't done a good job of that in the past. Obviously.
See you next year.
I guess so. I mean, that's what I like. Christmas time was like, oh, see you next year.
Let me know if you move.
I'll be back. Or like I guess when I say with Brady and Carly, I don't know. You leave it clean. Say thank you. Do your hugs. I usually at some point through the trip, I'll make sure and get something for the house or like buy, drinks or food or something like that. But
like a big stack of Powerades.
Usually it wouldn't be like a post stay. I would try and do that during the stay.
No doubt. Yeah, no doubt. Like if somebody,
like at Brady and Carly's house, it's like you bring a case of limoncello LaCroix.
You.
And that's a thank you.
Well, for her maybe, and then for him it's a 200 pack of Otter Pops.
Yes. I don't give in to that. I will not feed that addiction. Or poor braids.
He could be sponsored by Otter Pops.
He could be.
He is an Otter Pop. I think I'll say that at his wedding. We
got to figure out what. Yeah, you and I need to work together for his wedding to figure out what to say or not say.
Yeah, no kidding.
Probably more what not to say.
You're talking to the preacher. I really better find out what not to say.
I got to give a speech, man.
He's going to have to
I don't know how to talk.
That wedding's going to be outdoors, and it's all surrounded by trees.
Yeah.
The kid's going to be shaking in his boots the whole time.
Poor guy.
It's wild when you have a real human life friend who is afraid of trees.
We could go on for an hour about this.
We could, and we've talked a bunch. Artie, I love talking to you. I mean it when I say I'm a fan of yours. I love what you're doing. I love how you do it. I love how you've done it. And as corny as this is going to sound, you're one of the people that I look up to because you have every excuse in the book. You have every reason to be mad and to be crappy and to be bitter, and you don't take them. And I don't know if it's always a conscious thing you got to do or if you just fall into it. But I think often about like, well, if Artie can do what he does, and if he can go through what he's gone through, and if he can work as hard as he can, surely I can too. And I know I'm not the only person who is inspired by you, but you are just such a great guy to hang out with and know that I've wanted to do this with you since I first bought that couch and knew this was going to be something I was going to try to do. And again, I don't care if one person watches this or not. I'm going to have it for me personally. And I just can't tell you how grateful I am for your time, for putting me up this week, and for being my friend, because you are one of the best people in my life, and I really, really appreciate you. So thank you for doing this.
Well, thanks for wanting to do it. And same goes back to you. I appreciate you as a friend, and you're always more than welcome to stay here, regardless if it's here or if at another house.
Well, you know,
you'll have a bed or a couch.
We got to keep up with you in this jet-setting lifestyle you're leading.
I don't know about that.
Hey, I can't wait to come back in 10 years and find out who you've put up on the couch.
Yeah. I hope it's a good list.
I bet it will be.
We'll get a guest book like Lisa had for
She
for
had
us.
a guest book for the couch.
Yeah.
She had a literal, like, couch guest book.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
I'm sure it's still there. The next time either of us go back, we should look at it.
Yes. Dude, thanks for doing this. We're going to start that IndyCar 101 podcast when your bosses let you talk about all your strategy decisions, which I'm sure will be real soon.
No decisions out of me.
Well, just the decision to hang out and do this was a great one. So thank you very much. And thanks for hanging out on the couch.
Yeah. Thanks, Tony. Appreciate it.